Hello my friends, John LaRuffa here with another Straight Up Solo. In this episode, we're going to take a look at this small little game called Crumbs, the sandwich filler game. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this plays. Okay, so because this game is so short, I can actually teach you how to play it. It comes with this little rule book here, and the rule book itself is pretty compact, and it's pretty brief. So basically what you could do is you could play this game solo or as a co-op. I've got it set up for solo here. And what you're going to do is you're going to basically lay out the ingredients in front of you. There's 2 of each ingredient. And the whole goal of this game is to make sandwiches. You're trying to fulfill a couple of orders, actually three order cards before you run out of action or run out of time, so to speak. And you get 5 actions between each time you have to serve a sandwich. And if you don't serve a sandwich between those, then you automatically lose. And you can do the setup in a couple of ways. You can randomly choose 2 of these cards, or you can choose, an easy, medium, or hard situation, depending on what you choose here. And so for this one, we could take a look at, let's just say, the medium one. So we take an avocado card and a cheese card, and we flip those over, one of them over, and this becomes our order. We have 2 people here who want these 2 sandwiches, okay? Now you can make as many sandwiches as you want as long as you're working on the leftmost group of sandwiches. Sometimes there's 2 or more in these orders, and then the one adjacent to it. So if there's multiple sandwiches per person, you can work on all of them if you want in parallel, and anybody who's over here. Once you complete this order over here, all the orders on the left, you'll reveal the next card. And then that card will have more orders on it from different people. And then what you'll do is you will then, once you complete this card, you'll take the other one. So this is the avocado. I'll take the other avocado card from wherever it is in the deck, and I'll swap it with this one. And then I will go ahead and make the orders that says. So you have to basically complete 3 cards worth of orders in order to win. And if you don't get that done in time, you lose, okay? So what are the 3 actions that you can take, the 3 types? You can take them in any order that you want and as many times as you want. The first one is assemble. And that's where you take one type of ingredient and put them down in your area that you're working with, okay? And so for instance, you could take bread, that's one type, and take any number of breads and start to begin to make sandwiches. And so I'll show you that right now. As my first action, I'll take the 2 bread. It doesn't matter, you can choose any type of bread. There's 3 types. There's the white bread, there's this what looks like pumpernickel, and this one looks like rye. And anywho, we will put these down right here. So this will be action number 1, and they give you some action counters to make it easy for you to understand, how many actions you've taken. So that's action number 1. Action number 2, I could take, that's assemble, okay? So I can assemble either with the bread, or I can assemble with my ingredients over here. So maybe I want to continue to assemble the sandwich. I've got meat in this one over here. I've got some, tomato and cucumber over here. So my second action could be to put the tomato and cucumber out like this, okay? That's 2. And then it looks like I have a call for this fish, maybe it's salmon. So I would do that for 3. And then another call for bread for 4. But I want to use as many of my 5 actions as I can, because otherwise I'm wasting efficiency. So whenever you serve a sandwich, you're going to reset your action counters completely and you'll start over. Well, this sandwich, you notice it's going to take multiple steps. So maybe my 4th action instead, I will go ahead and I'll put down this ham. And then maybe the 5th action, now I'll do my last assembly action, which will be bread. I only need to put bread over here. And by the way, it does not matter the order. I could have done the veggies on the top part and the salmon on the bottom. You can switch around the filler in any order you want. The only thing that matters is the locations of the bread and the specifics of where the bread gets toasted and stuff, which I'll show you that again. Or I'll show you that in a second. So those were assembled. So I've assembled this sandwich, okay? Now, the second action you could take is called restock. You get a free restock action when you assemble the sandwich. And I'm going to use that restock action to take any one type of ingredient and put it back. So I'm going to use this to restock it. By the way, I go ahead and I mark him off, so I'm completely done with that little bread token. Then I reveal my next couple orders. So, okay, so this person has a bunch of 2 different sandwiches they want, and then she's got one as well. I can start working, now I work on this one, and I can start working either of those, but this one's still off limits. So again, I got that free restock action. So my free restock, I'll put back the bread, okay? Now, I go ahead and I'll set these aside. So we're starting again. These are kind of like in a discard or in the, you know, they call it, I think, the pantry area over here. I want to make sure that's right. Yeah, so from the pantry to counter. So these are in the pantry, okay? So I've got to basically get more of them out. And that could count as an action too. So you can see I need some salmon here. I need some ham here. It would have been more convenient had I been able to put both ham down if I had chosen a different one, but I didn't know what I was doing because I couldn't see it. So it is what it is. But I do need 2 lettuce over here. So let's do this. So I will, all right, let's think about it. Let's keep doing the sandwich here. So I've got my next action, I'll put on the cheese. And because these sandwiches don't need cheese at all, there's no synergy there. My next action, I can put an egg out, and I don't need to put a second egg out here, so I'm not too worried about it. And then now I'm gonna do bread for my third action here, but I'm gonna take 3 slices. So let's move this over. I'm gonna slice up, this is number 1, number 2 for this bottom sandwich, and number 3 over here. We'll put it over, I guess I'll slightly off camera, over there. Okay, so I'm almost done with this sandwich. The only thing I need to do now is toast that sandwich. And so to toast it, I could toast any number of bread that is shown here. The issue is, so I definitely want to toast this one right here on the top, but I can't toast this one on the top because I don't have a top sandwich bread yet over there. So I don't get the synergy, but I could toast any number of uncovered bread as an action. So I'm going to toast this action. That'll finish the sandwich. I'll reset these, okay? And then that finishes the card. So both of these now have been completed. Card's done, goes back into my pantry. In this case, I want to put out the lettuce because I see lettuce is going to be needed on these 2 sandwiches. So that'll be my free restock action. The rest of these are still out of play. Now, I told you that I've completed this one. So this was an avocado. So I'm going to take this avocado, swap it with this avocado, and then this becomes my final card. Now, in order to win the game, I've got to complete all these sandwiches plus everything on here. And if anytime I can't make the sandwich I want because I've run out of time, so for instance, let's say I decided to start making this bottom sandwich. That would be action 1, action 2, action 3, action 4, action 5. I still could do it, but you might get to a situation where you run out of actions before you can complete a sandwich. And if you do that, you automatically lose. Now, if you win, you will take the scores from each of these cards and you'll add them up, and that will determine your score for the end of the game. So 5, 6, 7, and 7 says I would be at a loafing around level, okay? And so that's the way you can score here, and it just depends. You can do this randomly. You can choose different cards. You can choose different difficulties to try to get what you're doing done, and that's basically the game. So it's a pretty quick filler. It's literally called Crumbs, the Sandwich Filler Game, and that's what it's for. So this game is it's what you see here. If you were intrigued by that, then you will be able to find some enjoyment in the puzzle aspect. And you could see these different sandwich types. Like this guy wants 3 of the same sandwich, so you have to do that. It's going to be a little bit tougher to do this card here. And all of these are different, right? So you have 2 different sandwiches here and then 2 more different sandwiches. This guy wants 3 and 2. And so there's a lot of variety, and if you just mix them up and see what happens, you'll get a kind of random setup. So let me go ahead and tell you what I think. All right, and that was the solo version of Crumbs. Like I said, you can also play a co-op, and when you play a co-op, you kind of split the tasks in half. And so you have different ingredients on different sides, and then you both work though to, achieve the same kind of completion goal of making sandwiches before it is, it's too late. So anyway, you can see what that game is. It is definitely a filler game, but it's a fun filler game. There's some nice puzzle aspect to it. It's not going to be a game that's going to blow your mind as far as overly complex or major spatial requirements or special powers or anything like that. This is a game where you just want to relax, play something quick, and you have maybe limited space on the table. It's pretty compact. It's very friendly to travel with. It's just in that little box there that I showed you earlier. Very small, very easy to fit in there. So if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, then this is going to be a great game for you. If you're looking for someone with huge player interaction powers as far as that's concerned, or a lot of complex rules or a lot of complex interaction with the cards, this one's not it. It doesn't pretend to be it. It is just a nice little puzzly game that you can play in about 15 or so minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and enjoy the experience. So I hope that was helpful for you, and I hope that whatever you decide to play in the future, you have a fantastic time doing it. Take it easy, everybody.